I keep on telling myself, this is why you have an emergency fund for emergencies, but I totally wish that my circumstances never led to this. I am using my emergency fund for the second time this year. Yes, for the second time this year. Not totally and not majorly, but I'm really sad to tell you guys that I will be using my emergency fund, or I will be living off of my emergency fund starting this month until I don't know for how long. If you've watched some of my videos before, you might have heard me say that I am currently building up my emergency fund, and that is because, as I've mentioned earlier, I used it up on the first few months of this year because I was struggling a little bit with finishing school. It was my last semester. Even though I was juggling 3 jobs, it just wasn't enough to cover my living expenses. So I was constantly in the red during those first few months of 2025. So I was really happy when I got a full-time job right after finishing school, because I thought that I was going to be able to build back my emergency fund and build back my finances overall as fast as I could, starting like on the day that I started my full-time job. And honestly, I have been doing so well. My original plan is to save up 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses as my emergency fund. But in today's economy, I would really feel at peace if I save up a complete year's worth of living expenses. But lo and behold, I will not be continuing to do that as of November 1st. Basically, my life just shifted. To be transparent, nothing happened to me personally. It's just a loved one needs taking care of right now, and I am going to take care of them. Now, I'm not gonna go into any more details about that because it's not my story to tell. Again, nothing happened to me personally, but it's about a dear person in my life. So yeah, I am wholeheartedly helping them in the best way I could, and it just so happens that we realized my income is not enough to take care of a single person. No, it is enough to take care of a single person. It's not enough to take care of more than one person. I guess what I'm saddest about is the fact that I am going through this again in the same year. I honestly thought that I wouldn't have any financial predicaments in the same year, but yeah, honestly, I don't know. If you've watched my video where I talked about all my costs from moving from a bedroom in the basement to a 1-bedroom condo, I talked about a truck damage that I did not cause. I tried my best not to happen, but yeah, even though I did not have any part of it, I still owned 100% of the financial responsibility because, number one, I did not want to inconvenience the people who just tried to help me move from one place to another. And number two, I just don't want to let it hang over other people's heads. So I just owned up all the responsibility. Now, yeah, that was a really hard lesson because, again, I thought I was finally going to build up my finances, and then this $400 a month a month's worth of obligation is looming over me. But I took that as a lesson from God to not focus on money so much. I know how big of a factor finances can affect how you live your life, but at the end of the day, money is just money. And I talked to God about it. I told him, okay, fine, I won't worry about money that much anymore. If you give it, thank you. I will live my life peacefully. If you take it away, it's also fine. I'm very, very good with that. Now that happened, I think around August, I started paying for that. It's now November, so I have paid for 3 months already. I told the people at U-Haul that I will only be paying until December. So they calculated the whole thing, and turns out I will have to pay around $400 a month to only pay until December, because I'm like, I want all financial obligations to be done in 2025, because I want to just have a peaceful and quiet life in 2026. Now, yeah, lo and behold, this happens. The reason why I mentioned about that U-Haul damage thingy was because I also did my very best to not be in this position. Yeah, I feel like I tried everything to make sure that me and the people around me will not be in the position that we are in now. But again, you know, life happens. You really can't control your external environment, and that's also like the hardest pill I've had to swallow. But I'm really trying to accept the fact that you cannot control your external environment. The truth is, even when I try my very best to make everything perfect, it's never going to be perfect, and it's not a bad thing at all. Honestly, I am so grateful to have people around me that make me go and strive to be a more normal person, rather than be a perfectionist who's always trying to like nitpick on the little things. So even though this is a very costly situation, once again, I'm taking this positively. I want to take this positively. Funny thing about this is that I really asked God to give me a soft girl package this year, because I was just so down during the first few months of 2025 and even the last few months of 2024. And I thought He gave that to me. I even talked about it in a few of my videos already. I think that, you know, finally God is giving me the life that I want and the life that I need, which is just a chill life. But apparently it's not my time yet. He's letting me know once again that whatever He gives, He can take away in an instant. And I'm perfectly okay with that. He's also letting me know that I need to focus on things that are eternal. I need to crave the things that can't satisfy the flesh alone, and I need to actively seek to be the daughter that He wants me to be. Now, I know it inside me that God is just preparing me for a life that I cannot even imagine that I'll have. Hopefully it's a life that I will love. A life I love so much that I'll be grateful to have had experienced hardships like this one. This is probably the first time where I did not plan that much when it comes to solving a problem that's in front of me. I have never done this before. I'm like, okay, if I have a problem in front of me, I will try my very best to have a plan A, plan B, plan C, until plan Z, just to make sure that, number one, I get myself out of that situation, and number two, I do not get into any of that situation anymore. But now, all I am doing is letting God do whatever He needs to do in my life. All I say is, let Thy will be done. That's it. I am not saying that I am giving up in solving problems. I'm just really hopeful that God will have a really strong presence in me to show me how I can solve this problem. Basically, I'm just surrendering to Him all my worries and this problem at hand, because honestly, this is the lesson of this video. Again, even if I do everything right, something will go wrong. So the best thing is to just give it to God, surrender it to Him, and still doing my best as a person, of course, but also letting God guide every step until I get myself out of this situation. Funnily enough, my devotionals for the last 2 days have been all about trusting God fully or surrendering to Him, and that's what I'm gonna do from this day on. Anyway, I just want to rant a little bit more because 4 months ago I made a net worth video where I talked about like how much my assets minus liabilities are worth, and before, like 4 months ago, that was at around $7,000. Now, as of October 31st, I calculated it, and I'm very, very happy to say that I have reached a 5-digit net worth. After 4 months, I increased my net worth by $3,000, and I can't believe I was able to do that. But at the same time, when I looked at that number, when I saw that, I just became sad as well, because I know that the next day, November 1st, I will never see my net worth be 5 digits again. I mean, not instantly, but when I close my books at the end of November, I just know. Well, I don't know. I still hope that I'm gonna be in the 5-digit mark, but when I crunched up the numbers, I forecasted that it won't be. So yeah, I was a bit sad about that. Cried a lot on the inside and cried a little bit on the outside. But yeah, now I think I'm good. I think I got over it again. God is telling me money is just money. Yes, it's important, but at the end of the day, I can just earn it back once we're out of this situation. I just really hate the fact that I think I will be ending this year the way I started it, which was being anxious for the future. Now, let's hope I am jinxing it as I put it out in the world, but I really need prayers from you guys that I get through this situation. And yeah, now I still want to end this video on a positive note, I guess. So here's what I'll say. Number one, God has blessed me this year in more ways than I could ever imagine. I even made a video about my 3 most favorite blessings that God gave me this year. So I'm still overflowing with blessings from God. Number 2, I am still grateful that I have an emergency fund that I could even use in times like these. I simply can't imagine how painful and how hard, difficult life would be for people who don't have emergency funds. Number 3, this is my time to practice selflessness. I really need to share my blessings to other people, and I'm really excited to do that. And last but definitely not the least is I'm going to take this time and treat it as an opportunity to love the people around me as much as I can. Okay, that's it for me today. Thank you for listening to my rant. I wish I get myself out of this. God gets me out of this situation. And for those of you watching, I wish you prosperity and peace in life. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.